wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? This country would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers in their wellies. Wellies, they're wonderful, oh wellies, they're swell, if it wasn't for your wellies.
Welcome back to our channel for the third video of the week. We've had a very exciting few days here on O'Neill Dairy Farm. It's all things tractors, slurry tankers, and the slatted shed finally starts to drive on. You might have noticed a new feature on YouTube. You can now hype videos to help promote small channels like ours, so please hype away, we'd really appreciate it.
Super bright moon this morning, 6:15, cows coming in. It is just lunchtime here now on Wednesday, heading up the glen to pick up our shear grabs. Had contact there from our weatherman, the shear grab is ready to go. Happy days. And there we have it, our shear grab is back with the brackets for the front loader and the tractor. Both tractors fitted on. The original brackets that were there for the old digger grinded off, left with an extremely smooth finish, and then the new brackets purchased, welded there and there, and on the same on the far side. She's attaching absolutely 100%. So what needs to be done with the shear grab now to get it going? Obviously her hydraulic pipes are a bit rusted. Those wasn't used much at all last year, so they need to be taken off, them fittings, and greased up and get ready for action. The blade on the front needs to be sharpened, and so that's getting the sharpening disc on the angle grinder, opening out and giving a good sharpen. Needs a bit of a pressure wash. Tines in it are generally okay. That one there is a little bit bent down, so we might have to take that out and replace it. But yeah, a bit of a clean up, good greasing, sharpen the blade, get the hydraulic pipes back in action, and she'll be ready to rock. 6:05, cows walking in. Thursday morning, the 9th of October, it's 9 o'clock. I'm up here in Bridie's 4 and 5, setting up grass for the cows. Changed the way we're grazing out these two paddocks now for the next 3 days. Our paddocks run perpendicular with the main road, that's it there. Very good clean out on paddock 2, not as good on paddock 3 yesterday. This top half of the field that runs along by our roadway up to Uncle Paddy's farmyard has a very, very heavy cover of grass on it, as you can see. And this is the way it runs all year. Grows really, really heavy up here in the top half, banked down to the main road. Doesn't grow as heavy. The cows love grazing down there, not as keen about the bit up on top here. So to get a better graze out, since this is the last grazing of the year, in fairness to them, they've been doing a reasonable job grazing out the paddocks. But to get a better clean out, and the fact that we have the weather for it, we're going to graze from the laneway down to the road. So we're going to go parallel with the road. Might give out a little bit. We have the weather for it now. Another mild morning. It's a little bit overcast, but staying mild. Grass growth is rumbling along. We're going to make the most of it. Lads are back on site, so they are getting walk pastures ready for pouring tomorrow. So good steady progress been made there. Driving home. So this is the feed passage on this side of the shed, and then this sort of standing way, I suppose. This is the first row of cubicles, then beds will be poured afterwards. So rougher filling on bottom and then finer filling on top, rolled in with the compact roller there, leveled off. We have steel mesh to go on top. It's all good. Bit of water for honey in the heifers. Just threw them in a bale of hay to keep them going. We're here at Naas Farm Machinery. Day 3 at this stage to look at the New Holland that came in last night from Holland. So fingers crossed.
And we're trading in our Deutz that needs a new high pack. All And the gearbox, it's going to be about £8 to get everything done on that. So we're saying goodbye and we're trading in. This is Joe's first tractor he bought and he's very sad to say goodbye. Oh, give her a kiss. There's the new door installed and everything. Remember, we mangled it. But I'm very excited. So hopefully this New Holland is going to be better than the Deutz they showed us last week. Joe has just spotted the imported New Holland. It's not love at first sight. So welcome back to tractor story time. Must be going on about 8 weeks now on O'Neill Dairy Farm.
And we finally made a decision that Joe was happy with. Yeah, as we've said, we've been looking at other second-hand tractors, looking at trading in our Deutz because of the cost that's going to get it right, new high pack in the gearbox, etc. Fairness in this farm machinery, they've been showing us lots of different options, but nothing that was ticking the boxes remotely close to replace what we have.
Unless we want to spend a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah. Boil down a bit to that, the cost, how quickly we need the tractor. Could we wait on one, like, you know, a month or 6 weeks, because they've other stuff coming in the future. So we've decided to stay with our own. So this is our current Deutz. You know it from all the videos. And it will be our current Deutz till Joe probably goes in the box. First tractor ever bought. That's the way it stays.
Until we pay off the milk and powder loan, you mean? I'll probably get another New Holland. So what have they done to this tractor now and what are they going to do?
It's been fully serviced. It's got the brakes are fixed. The cable was gone in the back for its pickup hitch. That's all completely done. What has been put on the list to do now, obviously the gearbox is going to be sorted out. We're going to get a set of LED lights up on the top. We're going to get the air seat sorted out. Pump on that wasn't working, so we get that fixed.
Was it ever working?
Yeah, it was, yeah. So it might just be a loose wire or something, or a fuse or something. Yeah, she'll be good to go and she'll be back.
And they replaced the door that you broke.
Fionn broke.
I'm just glad that decision is made now. It's been rumbling on a long time. Now on to the exciting bits. I've done a deal on a slurry tanker.
Obviously, do require Phelim to come in from Kevin, our contractor, to move slurry around at different times of the year, and particularly over the winter if tanks are getting full, etc. So we have decided to invest ourselves in a tanker for moving slurry around, and with the option in the future of getting a dribble bar or trailing shoe or whatever put on the back of it. Because we're in derogation, we don't qualify for the grant on a new slurry tanker. But I think we have to look into whether we get the grant on the putting the stuff on the back of it. I think we might do, actually. So we did have a tanker, a Connor tanker we bought. It's spanking new off the machinery show in Punchestown. We used to do all our own slurry work when my dad was working, milking the cows, and I used to spread slurry in the spring. And there was 2 full-time labour units on farm. Obviously, as my dad retired and the farm got busier, we had to get our contractors to come in and do more work. The whole idea of having this tanker is not to replace the contractors. Obviously, Ellen's getting more confident on the farm and Fiona's going to be around a little bit more. We will be able to do some of the slurry in ourselves if need be. But we think this is a worthwhile investment to get us out of a hole. Them nights that we have biblical rain and we need to empty the tank, the effluent tank or the collecting yard tank, you know, just stick the tanker on the tractor, get it done, no problems.
Yeah, you're in your brackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
The same as well, yeah, on the Deutz.
Yeah.
We're buying a tanker. Joe's walking around just doing a list of stuff that he wants done on it. Snag list, if you will.
Excited about this. Going to tidy up a few things on it to get a new PTO cover, make sure the lights are all working. There's a lad there needs to be tightened up or a bolt replaced, so we're going to do that. And
the tyres are good on, are they?
Oh, the tyres are perfect, yeah. Yeah. So it's also highly spec'd enough that it can carry a trailing shoe or a dribble bar on the back of it if we put them on it in time. So there we are.
Right, on to the next purchase. Walk down the other end of the yard.
Obviously with our new shed, we have long passageways that need to be scraped. We have a small standard 6-foot scraper on the back of the tractor, which we would have seen in multiple videos. So we are investing in a much wider, a 9-foot scraper that will be going on the front of the tractor. We're going to get a framework similar to what we got done on the Shear grab the other day. Is going to be put onto the back of it here, so it can go onto the front of the New Holland. And the plan will be, I let the cows out of the shed in the morning into the collecting yard, scoot down the 2 passageways or the 3 passageways with this on the front of the tractor, scraped into the big tank. We'll lime the cubicles, and then we'll do the same again in the evening time. It'll take about 10 minutes tops to scrape the passageways twice a day. That's the plan. Obviously, if we were doing it with the smaller existing scraper, you'd be up and down because it's not wide enough for the passageways. Our walkway in the middle of 2 rows of cubicles is exactly 9 foot, which is exactly what this scraper is. So it'll pot in straight down. That'll be done once, and then the other 2 are 14 foot. So 2 runs of the tractor. Happy days.
That's a cheap addition to the farm that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah. Obviously the dream scenario is a robot scraper is the elite. It's just there working the whole time. Then you have automatic scrapers. They can run on ropes and tracks and trains and stuff, and I've never heard anything good enough about them for us to invest in them. For the sake of €1,000, 20 minutes of my time a day, it's a good way to start keeping the shed clean.
And I think it's more important now for us to concentrate on efficiencies of the milk farm going forward. Like, we're spending so much money on buildings at the moment, which is going to obviously have a big impact on cow health. But I think now the milking powder is our next step of efficiencies on the farm, and also just make life easier for everyone. You happy, man, now that decisions are finally made?
Yeah, happy out, yeah.
This baby wasn't even in the realm of thought for Joe. I just kept walking around with the salesman saying, come here, talk to me on this, let's do a deal, talk to me on this. And Joe was like, stop. Now look at us.
Once they shiny metal, it's easy.
It'll match the Deutz.
Yeah,
I want a shiny blue New Holland, Joe. And I want the Deutz to be shiny green. Joe said no to lights on the Deutz, getting them LED. And now look, he's been convinced. There's the tractor I want, that New Holland 2014.
Why have we made the decision that we have to get our own Deutz repaired instead of buying either of the other 2 tractors? It's other Deutz that we saw. 2011 tractor had similar-ish hours to our own, in around 8,500. Brand new set of tyres. It had done very little work. It came from a race course, so all it was doing was mowing grass on a trailed mower, so the lift arms would have been very, very underworked. In theory, it was a good value tractor, but I felt similar to a 100 horsepower engine, the same as our own Deutz. Just the spec, the age of it, I felt like we were stepping back into the old Ford, that we were regressing. I was very much thinking that we were replacing like for like. That's what we were trying to do with our Deutz, to replace it with something very, very similar. The brand of tractor didn't bother me, but it just felt like we were stepping back in time. 3 years in age was making a massive difference. We held out then for the New Holland that was been imported from Holland. The guys in Fahr Machinery were very keen on the New Holland, since we have one already. Ellen was very excited about it, as was I, in fairness. They were told that it was the 2014 tractor. Similar hours to our own, good clean straight tractor, so they were super excited about it, and we held on and saw it today. It was a 2006 tractor. It was actually like getting into a New Holland version of the old Ford that we sold earlier in the summer. Very, very outdated, super wide wheels on it. The tyres were they needed a new set of tyres. It was just, did absolutely nothing for me. We opened the door and I sat into it and I went, no. Didn't even turn on the engine. It was just gear levers on both sides, I was just taking a too big a step back in time. And even the guys in Fahr Machinery were extremely disappointed with the tractor that they had gotten. They were, as I said, led to believe that was 2014 tractor, decent spec, etc. So that was a straight no. We went through different options then of other tractors that they potentially have coming in the next month or so. Myself and Alan sat down, done our sums, and went, look, I didn't think we were going to get another tractor that was going to match our own Deutz or be even remotely close to it, unless we went to a similar age. And to try and find another Deutz of a similar age was hard. To try and find another brand, if it was one of the more popular ones, New Holland, John Deere, any of them, Massey Ferguson, similar age and been relatively modern like our Deutz is, was going to be way too expensive. Way too expensive. You're talking north of 40,000. It was a relatively straightforward decision in the end. Yeah, unfortunately there's been a time delay with it, but look, the decision is made now. The tractor was going into the workshop this afternoon. Our Deutz was going into the workshop this afternoon. the boys are going to drive on and get it sorted out.
Myself and Myrna, just so she's finished camogie training, we're walking up to see the progress.
Camogie training in the school.
In the school. We're walking up to the new slatted shed to see Clive's progress.
It's a 9-foot drop.
I know, it is a little bit scary. Myself and Myrna inside the shed right now. Just wanted to see Clive's progress. So these are the pastures that we'd be scraping with the new scraper. And the cubicles then, don't walk down to Myrna, he has it ready for concrete. Then these are where the cubicles will go. Go home and we have to have dinner and go and collect Oscar, our 5th school run of the day.
Go and move in the fence wire. As you can see, our cleanouts are really, really good at the minute. The weather's playing a massive part in that. Good dry conditions. Not grazing covers that are really, really heavy. There's probably about 13 or 1400 on this. So tonight now, they're having this last strip this evening there, and they'll have the first strip over in the field. It's called Smokies. It's about 10 to 5, Thursday evening. The cows are making their way in there. Give you a close update on what's going on with the shed. So we are ready for concrete tomorrow. Whoop whoop. This is our first feed passage as you come down out of the yard or come down out of the milking parlour, and cows will turn in through the door here and they'll feed along this feed passage here, and then over as far as the boards there on the left hand side. That's the first row of back-to-back cubicles, so they'll step up there. So this passage is about 14.5 foot wide and she is ready for concrete. I'm actually not 100% sure if this one's ready for concrete because there's a bit of a gap there underneath the boards, but over on this side here, definitely ready to rock. As I said in the video this morning, all rolled in. This is our passageway between the 2 rows of cubicles. So you've back-to-back cubicles on the left hand side, you've back-to-back cubicles on the right hand side. This is our steel mesh that'll be lifted in when the lorries reverse all the way in and then pour the concrete out. So blinded off with crushed concrete, finer crushed concrete, rolled and compacted in. We have the feed passage on the far side as well. Super bit of progress there by Clive the last 2 days. I'll just bring you in here to the edge of the tank and I'll show you the damp course there. Runs along the edge of the tank to stop any concrete pour going in through the holes in the slats. Our plan, if you might see it there in the distance, is our blue water pipe. Got our water sources out here behind where the cows are walking in. We're going to run a blue pipe in along the edge of the tank. It'll come in underneath that first feed passage. There's going to be a water truck here at the wall that's at the end of this first row of cubicles, back-to-back cubicles. There'll be a water truck on the outside of that. The water pipe's going to come along, it'll come through the bottom of the wall, and the plan is to have all our fittings out here underneath the truck. It'll go back down, and as you can see, there's a pipe in the ground already, so it'll go underneath this one and come out on this side here for the truck to go on this side as well. And then the plan is for it to run tight to the pillars the whole way down to the far end of the shed. So we'll have water at both ends of the shed. It means we have loads of options in terms of dividing the shed. When cows start calving, we can have dry cows down at the far side and then fresh calf cows here on this side feeding on the slats with handy access into the collecting yard. Steady progress, steady progress. So absolutely delighted with the way it's going. Get the concrete trucks, lorries here, trucks, how American was that? Get the concrete lorries here tomorrow. I'm milking cows now, and then my plan is, look at these cheeky tramps in eating their crab apples. The plan is we have a stake here in the ditch. Going to mount one of the solar cameras on that. So we'll have a full view of what's going on in here. Should be able to show you everything, according as it happens. Cow's a bit bally. I did say this morning when I was giving them their allocation of grass, the top of Bridie's 3 and 4, that they're not big fans of the top half of them paddocks. But I'm going to walk up the bank here now and come in behind them, have a better look at what way they went on. I just remembered that I have the selfie stick for the camera in the front of the van, so there'll be none of this. Should be out here looking at me and our glorious shed that's starting to take shape. So the top of Bridie's 3 and 4, as I thought, not cleaned out 1000%, not cleaned out 100% as you'd like. Very similar to the top of beside it there. That wasn't cleaned out that well either. Yeah, the cows really don't like up here. I'm not 100% sure. Actually saw a thread on one of the social media platforms today. Someone was asking the question, do people have these issues? Are paddocks stale, or is the grass stale? Is there something going on? So there was a lot of different suggestions, people getting the actual grass analysed, forage analysed, or herbage analysis to see. And there was a strong suggestion that spraying salt through water at a low concentration might help with the salinisation of the grass and improve intakes. Not sure. It's reasonable considering the time of the year, we'll take it. And it's amazing how you just have to come to this side of the paddock and we're starting to go down into the bank, down across that vein, down towards the main road, and how this piece here is absolutely skint. Oh, these cows. Milking time now. Morning everyone, it's about 9:05 or something, or coming up on 9:05. Friday morning, the 10th of October. Cows are milked and gone out, and it has been busy on site since about 8 o'clock. We have concrete lorries in. Second load of concrete from Keithley's is in. Clive was on site there for half an hour. He sublet the job of actually pouring the feed passages this morning to another company from Naas. Turn around now and get a shot of their van there. So, console concrete from Naas are on site. Haven't been speaking to the boys yet, but they've been busy working since about 8:20. We're starting the fahr feed passage. As I said, the second load of concrete, and they are absolutely motoring. Job well set up. And lads that know what they're doing. Quick chat with Clive when he was on site, just to see what finish we were leaving on the concrete, and all his years of experience and different methods that were used, and we're leaving squares and tracks and blah blah blah. Tamping in just with the simple board down there. It's there in the distance, you can see it. I'll walk down now in a second, get a closer shot of it. Just that simple tamping. Packing it in and leaving that slightly rough edge, just slight little finish. If in the future we get automatic scrapers or a robot scraper, that's the ideal finish for them. Leave no poo behind when they've been scraped into the tank. This load will probably finish out this passage. It's not even 9:10. Oh my God. You're looking at one of the happiest farmers in Ireland right now. So happy. So that lorry is just after unloading all its concrete the whole way down along. It's came as far as here. Last job of the concrete lorry when it leaves is to wash its spout and give it a good cleaning. Obviously concrete can set very quickly, so you don't want any of it setting on your spout or up on the outlet valve. So give her a good clean. That lorry will be back here in an hour or so now with another load. I'd imagine that there's probably going to be 2 or 3 lorries coming to us now steady for the day, because the plan is to get the 3 ice poured. Another half a load to finish out here, and then we'll start on this one, the centre walkway.
Hard work, let's get it going, let's go. Hard work, hard work.
So our boys have the truck off this altogether now today. Clowns. So this is our smaller bunch of bulls. The 2 guys in the centre are the 2 lads that were going to keep us vasectomised bulls. I just noticed that the bigger of the 2 of them was a bit hollow looking there 2 days ago. Couldn't really place it, I didn't know what was going on. They were being fed in one of the meal trucks from when they were younger, so I put the meal into the truck and I stood back for a minute or 2 watching what was going on. He was extremely shy coming up to feed against it, so whether he has some issue with it, got a bump off it, got something going on, but he was literally standing at the back and wouldn't come near it. So I've changed their feeding now into this little small truck, and he's up getting stuck in with the rest of them. So yeah, and his gut feel is back to where it should be. So happier with that. Yeah, so them two boys, the Belgian blue heifer that is partially sighted over there, and the smallest of the little bulls, them four, are going to go up to the maternity ward when we have it cleaned out. We'll be getting all in along here, all prepped for the dairy heifer calves when they finish their grazing the far side of the road. We are making savage progress. Almost a half of the middle eye poured, while this eye, or this feed passage, is completely finished. Boys putting the finishing touches on it there now, tamping the last section. It's taken a tidy little bit of driving from the Keithley concrete drivers to reverse back in to do the middle walkway. It's extremely tight. They have to tuck in the mirrors on the lorries, and she's just probably 6 inches wider either side than the weight of the lorries, so reversing her back in. This load now should get it almost all the way out, and there's another lorry over there in the yard waiting to come in. Really driving on this morning. Happy days. So the passageways have been finished to within about 7 or 8 foot of the end of the shed. Good man, yeah. Sound, thanks. People might wonder why the lads aren't going all the way out to the pillars. The reason being is the height of the shed. So the finished gable end in the shed is too low. If the concrete lorries were to drive in close to the finished height of the concrete, you know, within the 6 inches of the bottom or whatever. So Clive had to dig down a little bit, so drop it down so that the lorries could duck down underneath the finished gable end. And it's the same on this side here and the same across on the far side. When he's back doing the concrete around and doing where the cubicle beds and stuff are going to go, this last section here will be poured then from the outside of the shed. So I'm here in New Holland. Going, getting the scraper on the tractor now to scrape the yard, tidy a few jobs up. It's weird, you could watch concrete being poured all day. It's something therapeutic about it when you're not doing it yourself, when you're not waiting on the panic lorry to come in, pouring the concrete. But lads that know what they're doing, lorry drivers that know what they're doing, it makes the job so easy if it's set up right and you just fly. They're making absolutely savage progress there this morning. They'll be done by lunchtime, the pace they're going at now, and I could not be happier. And just like that, folks, we have 3 of the feed passages. Feed passage 1, our walkway in the middle, and then feed passage on the other side. Done and poured. Absolutely fan-fiddling-tastic. Lads on site, first thing this morning, about 7:30. First load of concrete in at 8:20. It's now just after 2 o'clock. Job done. Oh, absolutely fantastic progress. Really happy with the way things are after going now today. Progress that our boys are after making has been absolutely fantastic. As I said earlier on, plan with Clive, we're going to let these passageways dry now. They have to carry full loads of concrete when the cubicle beds and stuff have been poured, so they're going to be given a week to dry out. Clive will be back tomorrow week. We'll get the ball rolling on the rest of it. And we won't have to wait on it to dry after that then, so we'll be here and get stuck in. Progress has been made. It's been a busy old week. Multiple videos, fair play to Ellen. Lots of things done, progress been made on the shed, which is the most exciting part of it all. Enjoy the weekend, the weather's to stay good. There's lots of maize and stuff being cut in the locality, so stay safe if you're at that. Drive it on, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday.